Hey everybody, Scroft here, welcome back to the channel and welcome to our brand new Let's Play series on Kinlaig, the Highlands Fishing DLC. Now, I've just come away from doing my first look, like blind first look video, and it was a long one. I got distracted so many times and just went to look at loads of random things, missing things to look at as well, but I think that's the point of a blind playthrough. As long as you're occupied and enjoying what you're seeing, you know, enjoying the map and, you know, impressed with it, then that's a positive. And that's definitely what I've been with this. I'm really looking forward to just playing this one and maybe trying out things that I don't normally do. I think, you know, with it being a new map, a DLC map in the UK, it's pretty much a new, yeah, what's the right word for that? It's just a new direction, really, isn't it, for Giants. So I thought I'd do the same. I'm going to try out productions in this series. It's going to be a short series. Just going to play it for a bit. Who knows? I might do a proper series after it on the map with all the mods that I'd normally use, equipment mods that is. I have got a lot of script mods, but kind of stepped away from the majority of the mods that I would use for equipments because I want because I want to use the new ones on offer, like this insane 8000 series New Holland that was. I actually prefer it to the modern ones. It's a beast as well. This thing is 359 horsepower. It's crazy. And I've also got a JCB, but yeah, let's not get into that. I'll carry on showing you that in a second, but yeah, this is the aim of this series. We're going to try out new things. We're definitely going to try out the onions. We will try out the fishing, but don't know if I'll stick it out, I'll be honest, but we're going to give it a go. At least it deserves is a go. And then we're just going to do our normal farming. I'm not running the realistic livestock mod. Kind of miss it already. I haven't even done anything, but I have placed down a cow shed down here, which is not actually how this farm is set up. But I've put some Highlands in. I am using the enhanced animals mod, but again, doesn't seem like that's working currently because it's not really showing me male or female, which is, I'm sure that's what's supposed to happen. So yeah, I'm not sure there, but maybe it's because we've had an update to the animals with the Highland cows and everything that mod also needs updating. But I thought I'd test it out with all the scripts. Why not? And yeah, we may as well see if it's going to work because I know a lot of people that are going to play it probably going to want to use their normal kind of set standard mods. So let's have a quick look around. That is the farmhouse. If you've watched my intro video, you'll know all about this farm because I really did take an in-depth look at it and all the placeables and constructions and everything that we can play, you know, that we can mess about with. We've got a load of ways to customize by putting hedges down, fences down, walls down, custom construction buildings and things like that. So you know the house, but that's the main one. I wish Grandad wasn't sitting there. I wish you could turn the characters off, to be honest. I think that would be pretty cool. But unfortunately we can't. Not because, you know, I don't like that as a game, but I just think it's better to have it as an option for someone that's maybe played and tried it and then thought we don't need them NPCs that really don't do much but just give you random conversations. If it was a farmer, like on another farm simulated that you go up to him, he wants a contract, so you have to speak to him to get that contract, or even maybe he wants to buy some bales off and you get like a random text message saying, Grandpa wants to see you. And then when you go there, it says, Grandpa wants to buy 30 straw bales. Do you have them at this price? I wouldn't mind it then. I'd really interact with it, but I feel like they're missing a trick with that. Who knows? It could be like the starting point for what it could be in future games, but it isn't that now. And because of that, I avoid it, and it's that simple. Anyway, yeah, that's our quad. We've got a Can-Am, which has come with this DLC. It's a great quad. Also got a few other options. I've got a bigger quad. It comes with tracks and like a snow plow as well. It's crazy. I have brought my own vehicle into it. I've gone with the L200 with the Big Dream Small Wheels logo on the back. If you know, you know. Starting equipment over there is like the cedar. We've kept that. We've got a few sheep, but I've just changed them up. Same amount, but just changed them up. And then over here, we've got a bunny trail that we start with and a pickup. Now, I have sold the mower. I have sold the mower. So we'll have to pick up a new mower, but I just thought it wasn't the best one to go with. And then let's just quickly walk down here because I can move back up. But I've placed all this down. What this is originally when you start is a pasture for the cows. So it's just like an open pasture, really, for the Highlands that are on show. And I decided that I wanted a bit more because I want to do muck spreading and things like that. So I placed down this cow shed that's been added to the DLC. So we should be able to hold up to 160 with that. And then I've also placed down this mock heap, which is a beast of a mock heap. If we can get that full, I'll be very happy, because I have got something that can handle it. I've already showed you the New Holland. That's 359. We've gone for the 4000 icon. Just looks exactly like the one that Ross and Mod brought into the game for us on FS25, but this is actually now the one that comes with the DLC. And that's 235 horsepower. And then this has to be one of the best tractors we've seen added to the game. I know a lot of people were hyped about this, and me included, and it's worth the hype. The old school Fast Track 2115 is a beast, and it just makes me realise how much I miss the older equipment. If someone made a map tomorrow that was set in the 90s with equipment from the early 2000s and late 90s, or even the full 90s, I'd probably feel at home there. That is where I want to farm in that generation. So yeah, all day long. Got an animal trailer that I've put in. Got like a standard, just cheap homemade kind of style. Just, pretty straightforward. Cheap as chips, but does the job. Bale trailer in there. Workshop in here, we've got the starting, I think that's the cultivator. So we've got that. And then I've also purchased this that's come with the DLC, and it's the Bunning low loader wide body 250 HBD. I know it's a mouthful, but it's basically a mug spreader, and it's insane. 300 horsepower requirement on this, so only the New Holland's going to be able to pull this. But as you can tell, she's a beast of a machine. It also comes with an option that I've added, which is, to basically have like a hedgerow protection bit. So I'll have to check that out in action. But we're going to try that out. I know the money is crazy at the moment. I'm going to change that in a second. Whilst I was setting up, I was putting in equipment to kind of get me going. But to be honest, money's not going to be an issue in this one. I want to try out all the things on offer. So I'm going to start off with probably like £1 million just to give myself that chance to go off and do whatever we want in any direction we want. So I got a sprayer. Now, this is the first one that I've kind of broken my rule, which is I wanted to use every option. So every time we wanted to buy something, if there was an option in-game from the DLC, we've got to pick that. But I didn't go with the sprayer because the sprayers are massive, insane. Like 20,000 litre sprayer is the smallest one. I just thought we don't need anything like that. But I did decide to treat myself and put all the extras on from the precision farming on the John Deere sprayer. So we got that. Spreader, we've gone with this Agri Spread, which is brand new to the series, which is brand new to this DLC. It's got a nice little add-on at the back as well. We'll check out when we go. And then I've gone with the reliable 4D modding and his stunning Abbey tanker. Can't go wrong with that at all. And finally, I swapped out the starting harvester for something I think a little bit more suited to the area, which is I went for a class Lexion 560, like an older model of it. And I think it'll do the job quite nicely. 7.5 meters on the header is probably about right. So moving on quickly just to the map and our owned land. I've purchased one extra field, which is field 24. Now that one has got onions in that are growing nicely and will be ready to harvest soon. So I thought that'd be a good chance for us to try out onions relatively quick, especially the side where we harvest in. I've also got field 23, field 50, which is the pasture. This is the farmland area. Field 20, which is, we've got like a wheat and a barley field. Both are ready to harvest. And then we've also got this one here that's just in a ploughed state. But down at field 35 is our only grass field, which should be plenty for what we need. We need to make some hay for the sheep, and we need to make some silage for the cows. Pretty much straightforward. Now, I have got a plan because I want to try out some new things. In this episode, it's not going to be like a heavy episode because it's a starting one. I was thinking, why don't we go and try the new coal aspect of the game? We can purchase coal, from what I understand, deliver it to somewhere, sell it. So it's like almost like a transport job, I think, because down here there's just this, it's got like a shop icon and it's called Coal Mine. Now we can purchase coal from there and then take it to several places. So I was thinking we could go and do that. Might be a good drive around the map as well. There's also a few construction things along the way, building the castle. There's also a windmill, which is, where's she at? There she is, at field 60, right up here. So if you build the windmill there, it's a new sell point. So maybe we can start attacking that at some point. But obviously the fishing, you know, the onions and the things that come with that is also something I want to try out. There's one thing I do want to do. So let me just tell you my grand idea on this series. This is where I want it at least be the aiming point before we even stop. So I currently own this patch over here. So if I just show you my own land, the farmland, it goes all the way up to like just before field 2. So we got this track coming up here and the track going around there. And as you can see, there is loads and loads of logs that are good for chopping down. Now this DLC does add something really cool. And we're going to go and try and use this and utilize it and make a load of money because it is quite rewarding from what I can see. Now up here, I'd say probably about there. Across here, what my plan is I want to chop down all these trees. And doesn't the forest area just look better? It's got loads of random stuff. Even these trees, these spruce trees look better. You know, pine and spruce and other bits and bobs. But anyway, I want to chop down a big clearing in this section. Not big enough that it looks almost like, you know, too scarce and open. I want it to still be kind of like a hidden spot within this forestry area. So like maybe say this center point here and then just a good area to flatten out. We'll make money from the logs. We'll also need the wood for what we want to do. But the main reason for it is this. Now imagine, right, you're in the woods and we've chopped down the trees. If we go to factories and go right down to aquaculture, my idea is to put a pond in so we can do some fishing and make the money from the fish and so on. This one we can try out at sea before if we really need to, but I'd like to put a pond in. But then when we got the pond in, I want to go to the constructables and I want to put in some holiday homes. These are $2,400 a month each and only £250 to place down, but you obviously need to supply a load of wood items and these new kind of like, I think they're called like shingles or something, but they're, yeah, definitely a new item that we need to start generating. I think we have to buy the quarry. But imagine if we put 6 of these down, 3 either side of the pond, and have our own little holiday home section with some parking and a track leads up from here into it. I think that would be pretty cool and quite true to the area of Scotland because they do have a lot of holiday homes knocking about the place there. I mean, I've stayed in a couple of them that just look like that but are a little bit bigger. They're kind of like log cabins. So I thought that'd be pretty cool to kind of do as a bit of a goal before we even think about stopping this. To do that, though, we need to start doing chopping trees down. I'm going to figure that out in the next episode. I want a more efficient way of grabbing them, selling them, and so on. And I think it's probably going to be stuff I do in between episodes and then cut in when it needs transporting and selling, just because it takes a long time, and I don't mind just sitting there with an audiobook and doing that. So that's the plan. Like I said, we've got a couple of fields that are ready to harvest. We can start tackling them now. We've got this one and one. Just bring up the map. I think it's just in that direction somewhere. Is it? In fact, no, it's across from this one. It's actually over there across the main road. So, yeah, 2 fields that we can start with. What I'll probably do, because I want to go on a bit of a drive, we may as well get the Lexion out and just start the harvest at least, because we can store it. I don't want to sell anything direct as of now. I'd rather store it knowing that I want to try out more productions. Now, I'll admit I'm only going to probably try out mainly the newer productions to start with, but you know, we could maybe take some wheat somewhere and make some flour and use it for fish food if we need to. But yeah, we may as well just focus on trying the newer things more than the stuff that's already in the game that I don't tend to do, because I feel kind of like standard arable farming and the traditional, you know, animal kind of rearing and all that good stuff. I know I have got auto drive on and course plate, but as you can imagine, we've got no courses to even think about yet. Right, so let's just make sure this has got the straw on. Enable straw swath. I'll take that. let's just make sure this is working first. I also need to check my game settings because I haven't really changed anything. I jumped in to set things up, and that's pretty much been where I got to. So let's just, first off, go into the game settings and see what we can do, because there's a few that I probably want to change. Right, straight away, we're not doing 1 day months. Let's do 3 day months. I always find that that's probably the minimum I want to go to. We've got crop destruction on. Periodic ploughing, don't really need, because we can just plough the crop types that require it after harvest. Field stones, I mean, I don't tend to do that because I want to plant and going down the quarry route. I don't think we're going to need to do that. Weeds is fine. Disaster destruction is going to be visual only for me. Yeah, because I'm not too fussed about the, tornadoes and twisters and all that good stuff. Not my cup of tea. Everything else seems okay there. Maintenance cost, we'll keep everything at 100, and the paint cost. Why not? And I'm quite happy with that. Right, so we're set up to go there. I'm going to use the in-game AI worker for this one. I think that's probably the best bet. We'll do 3 headlands. No, we'll do 2 headlands, actually. That should be fine. We'll start on the headland pass. We'll let it do its thing. Yeah, we need to just quickly make sure it's got a trailer to load into. I'm going to need 2 tractors for what I've got planned. I'd probably best taking the fast track up just because it's faster on the roads. So we'll use the New Holland right now just to hook up to the bunning trailer for the transport of the grain. But I'd like, at the end of this episode, to at least gone and picked up some coal, take some water to the quarry that I've got as well, and get this harvest done, but the AI worker's doing it. And then, next episode, we won't have wasted, 15 minutes talking about all the starting stuff and the way we're doing it. Because that's the one problem with the starting episode on a series that's new. It explains the premise of it, what we got going on with the equipment wise, and going from there. So at least we don't have to worry about that next episode. Right, so the old school girl is going to lead the way because I want to drive it. And I'm going to get... just trying to think, should we go out this way? We can do. Just take a bit of a longer detour. Or we could go this direction. Because where I need to get to is the quarry after we filled up with some water. So I'm hoping I can kind of sneak into the river on the way and fill up. So yeah, let's do that. We're going to need the trailer though, because I want to pick up... Yeah, I want to pick up some bags, or I think the bags or crates. Maybe crates of coal. And then take them to a sell point. See if we can make some money from buying coal and selling it. Because I don't understand what else it can be used for. Apart from just like a transport. You buy it from one place, take it to another. There we go. So let it set up to that fast track. There we go. So it'll follow me now. And we're good to go. This map, I have to say, I'm really impressed as well with the way it's feeling as I'm playing on this Highlands DLC map. It's not disappointing, I'll say that. Don't get me wrong, I was worried at one point because, with a DLC map, there's always going to be some restrictions, but it still feels like the UK. And, my God, the turning on this is horrendous. We need all-wheel steering. Yeah, that's going to have to happen because that was awful. So we're going to go left here. And, yeah, to go back on ourselves a little bit. Really on the road, you don't want to be using all-wheel steering, but that was awful. Let's go back. I know I'll crab in there, but let's go back to front-wheel steering. We need to make sure we pick up some water as well on the way. There's the main town in the distance. Loads of sell points in the main town, so we will be visiting that quite a bit. And luckily, the store, like the dealership, is only there. So if we do need to buy all the onion stuff when we start harvesting, we can. In fact, let's just quickly set the money. We may as well do that. So set the money just to 1 million. There we go. And everything now is set. So if we do need to sell stuff, there'll be money for profit, and if we buy stuff, that's it. We've only got 1 million. I say only 1 million, but it can go down really quick in FS. Looks really impressive, doesn't it? A standout feature to this map. These are the roads why you need the fast track. You need 31 miles an hour on these roads. Imagine if you had something that could take you over the 50. I mean, the fast track behind, I think, is probably 41. So he's like, come on, hurry up. I'm just trying to find a spot for the river. Probably should have gone down there. That might have been the place to go. But I'm hoping I see another gap in the fences. You know what? I don't think we're going to. Oh, it's just going to be typical now. That will be the only gap in the fence we get. So I'm going to have to swing this around. Because the quarry, I think, is the next building on the left. I'm pretty certain. Yeah, it is. So, let's swing around. Even with this turning, like, look at that for turning. If you're using this JCB, make sure you've got all-wheel steering on. Even on the roads, because that is not fun. It's like it's not meant to turn around at all. God, remind me to get a water tap at the very least, even though that's free. You know, it doesn't cost me any money. We need to find a better spot than that. We definitely do. Is he going to make it? Yes, he is. Right, let's quickly get there because the tank's at 80%. As long as we get there and park up and start dishing this water into the quarry, well, it'll start producing because that's all it requires. I mean, thumbs up definitely to Giant Software for that combination right now. That Bunnings Railer and that New Holland is it's just the perfect combination. You're going to have to move, buddy, because I've got crop destruction on. See, that's the one thing I like about Courseplay. It would not do that. It definitely would not do that. But it's my fault as the guy that's supposed to unload, really, that I wasn't unloading when he was on the right, you know, section coming back down. That was the time to do it. I mean, yield's not horrendous with this, but we're not maxing out, are we? And I still haven't scanned all the fields. So that might be something we should do with us running precision farming. Let's do it this way. Purchase soil information. We've got the money. I may as well. So we've got... I mean, these two fields here are really good. This one starts to dip. And then that one's horrendous, our grass field, which is probably the best one for it to be horrendous on. Oh, we've just spent, what, over £12,000 there? It's expensive for samples. And we're only half full, so we'll just wait it out, and hopefully this time, and hopefully next time we'll catch that he needs, unloading. Now, I'm just going to check something, because I've noticed the lighting's quite bright at the moment. So I just want to go to additional game settings. I have got it set to the base game custom lights to this map. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on, let's try Saxonham, because that is a nice lighting. There we go. It looks a little bit more, it's definitely less saturated. And I kind of like that. So I'm going to stick it with that for now. I think. I think. I mean, it doesn't look too bad. It's just less saturated. So I've gone to the Bevington Farm one. I think that's probably like the nice middle ground. The shadows are more darker though. That's the only thing. So it's less vibrant. And we are looking at like midday in August. So I'd say probably it should be a little bit more brighter. But yeah, I do faff about with these things, I'll be honest. I don't want to go with any of the base game ones, so I've really got Bevington Farm as my option, Saxonham, or the Calmsden versions. Now, I know the Calmsden version pretty much didn't have a unique lighting system. The one in Bevington Farm, I added that in myself, so I'm just going to stick with this for now. I'll probably get used to it eventually, but we can always have a mess about with it, in the future if we're not happy. Anyway, that's the water gone in. So let's just see what's going on with this production. Now, if you've got any suggestions of what you'd like me to do in this series, knowing that it's going to be a little bit different, let me know in the comment section. What would you want to see me try out, even if it's just something different for me to do on the channel that you'd be interested to see my take on it. Yeah, let me know. I'm happy to give it a go. Right, so it's storing, which is what we want. We want to activate it. So now it's going, and we should get 360 cycles a month, and one cycle is 25 stones, big stones actually, for one water. So hardly any water, but we should start storing quite a bit, hopefully. So we'll have to just keep an eye out for that. It's working. I do like this as well. This detail of the quarry. It's nice that it's not just a building. You have got this to visualize. Next task is we're going to go up. We're going to go up together again because I need to use the front loader attachment on this, and we'll have to stop the follow me mod. But we want to go up to this section, which we're right by, but we're going to have to go back on ourselves and go back up this hill, up to this. Now I'm hoping there's an entrance to this, because it looks like, because it's higher up, we're going to have to go all the way around up here and down this section. I think that's going to have to be the case. Because it's only a stone's throw away. It's literally just up there somewhere. So we're at Alba Coal Company, And like I said, this is not a production. It's just a sell point for coal. And I can't figure out anything else except buying coal and selling it. So we're going to see if that's what we're supposed to be doing. I'm going to just buy 10. I hope I don't need a rear weight, but you can see the crates of coal, and I want to put them on that. So, yeah, let's hope this. Let's hope I don't need a rear weight for this. Bloody hell, I hope not. And let's also hope that we can pick up 2 at a time. It's actually been a while since I've been doing things like this, so you know what? I'm going to try and be cheeky here. Oh my god, I can actually pick up 4 of them at a time, and I was worried about 1. There we go. That makes things a lot easier. I'll take that for a win. Alright, let's plonk these on here. Right in the centre, eh? There we go. We might have to stack 2 high, because... no, we maybe can get 3 on there. It's going to be tight anyway. Also, the drive up here that I put on a time-lapse just felt so much like the UK and Scotland. But do you know what it also felt like? And this might just be because of where I'm from, but I live in the Peak District. And Scotland's always reminded me of like a more prettier version in areas of the Peak Districts. Don't get me wrong, the Peak District in other areas are better than Scotland, I think. Just like for the pasture side of it, it's a lot more green in areas. But I mean, Scotland's got some stunning views that is, you know, it's in a world of its own because of it. But yeah, it just made me think, like, when I was driving down, that this really does feel like a British environment. And that was my biggest worry. Can Giant Software still do that, knowing that they have these restrictions in place to kind of make all size of vehicles work on the roads and stuff like that, and all the country lanes out to fields? So I was worried about that, but I think they've nailed it in the best way they can. Yes, it could be better. If it was a modded map, we'd see it better. Ah, that is bloody typical. Always the last one. I'm not going to give up on this, though. I'm going to do this properly. Might be better if I go in cab, you know. Yeah, always better in cab, honest. In fact, with the tool inclination mod, it should be better in cab anyway. It's just hard to judge how far you are in front. I think that's my biggest issue. But there we go. We're level. And if we go down to 0, or that, we should now not pick them up. Oh, we are. I don't know how, but we have. There was something going on there that wasn't happy. And then make sure you turn when you're properly clear. Right, we'll stack these at the front on top of them 4, because when we do unload them, if we need to manually do it, we can try 6 out, because it definitely picked up 4 without a rear weight on the back. I know there's a bit of weight in this JCB. Anyway, I'll strap that up, and then we'll go and take it to a sell point. We'll figure out which one the best place to go is first before we obviously head there. But there's definitely a few options. Can't go wrong with a cup of tea. Honestly, I think the best combination I've ever had in life with Farm Sim is a cup of tea. It's just every time, without fail, playing Farm Sim, I'll make you a brew. That's what Beanie says to me anyway. Right, let's open this up. And I want to check. Will the header go through? No, it won't. Okay. Well, that's definitely realistic for a UK map then. But we want to head through that. Do I need to go and get the header trailer? I'm going to have to, aren't I? A lot of people will be like, just drive through. Just drive through the hedge. But we're not. We're going to do it properly. I'm going to do it properly. If I can remember where I parked the header trailer. I'm sure I put it over there. Yeah, I want to get him going in that, drop this off, and then we can focus on the coal. Now, the baling we're going to do in the next episode, but I'm going to do something a little bit different. I want to try and stick to manual loading. I've missed it. I have in FS25. I know it's horrendous and I'm missing it, you know, and I've stopped doing it for a good reason, not just because I got fed up of it and wanted to use the ease of autoload. It's because the bales just have a mind of their own and it's a proper pain. So, yeah, this series I'm going to just think, no, we're going to give it a chance. Let's see if we can do this. I've just realised something, that with that, I actually can't get to it. So, we have to make sure that we have not got the straw swath enabled, or else we've got no chance of picking up the header trailer. But yeah, going back to the bales, I want to do something a little bit different. What I want to do is I want to use the straw harvest baler, the one that costs a fortune that I normally ignore, basically. I just kind of think that's too much. That's like end game goal equipment. But I'm going to give it a go this time around. And yeah, we're going to do our best. I'm just trying to think best place to park this. I'm going to have to do some crop damage, aren't I? Going back to the baler, it's got a collector. And I can collect 4 bales at a time horizontally on the ground. And yeah, we can then pick them up in groups of 4, which makes it less, you know, laboursome, let's say, and should still work really well. So that's the plan, and I think we'll do that in the next episode. No, we don't want steering assist. What am I doing here? AI worker. Off you go. And if we go to this guy over here, we can empty out the barley because he's going to be harvesting wheat now. And then it should be good. I mean, we've done well for the first episode. But what am I in now? 51 minutes in. Probably about 40 minutes recording. And we should have both the fields harvested. And we've set up the quarry. And we've also picked up some coal and hopefully made a bit of money from it. So quickly, while I'm just unloading this trailer, I just thought I'd have a look at the coal. Now you can see what I mean here. We've got this one here, which is the coal mine, and it's got that symbol there, which is like, means you can purchase it. So like the chocolate, we could buy it from the warehouse, we could buy it from the big farmer's kiosk, but we can sell it to these locations here, which is why it's in selling. In fact, I can buy it. I can't buy it at the big farmer's kiosk, but I thought that's what that symbol meant. So maybe that's something completely different. We can sell it there, but not buy it there. But we can buy it at the warehouse. So same with coal. Coal mine, you can buy it, and then you can sell it for hire. It's not much different. You're pretty much just getting paid for the travelling, which is crazy. But we are at the best time to sell, so there's got to be something else to the coal, surely. It is definitely a weird one. Let's go to the selling station for coal. I know that's like a train station, and it's not too far away. In fact, we can take the back roads to get back to our farm. So let's drive all the way up to that junction, come across, come down, and then we can do this. That has to be the plan. So down here and a left at the bridge. I took a bit of an extra detour. I couldn't help myself. But there we go. We've made 12,478. I don't even think we made much of a profit from that, but I tried it out. So to me, the coal it's an interesting thing, but it's like it's missing something, like some kind of production to make it more profitable, or something that we can use the coal for. I don't know. I could get it. You know, there's a steam train. Just sold it to the selling station for coal, which is actually a train station. So it kind of makes sense, but there's something we're missing in between. You got this coal blast furnace as well, which we can sell it to, which is in the center. But the price isn't too much different. In fact, it's lower there than it is where we just sold it. So, yeah, I'm missing something. I'll have a look through the productions, but I've not seen anything that states. I mean, there's plenty of stuff for the onions, onion salt, onion soup, onions that we can package. They get sold at, let's just have a look, $7.59 in December for the best. But if we sell onions as a crop loose, $5.45. So definitely makes sense to package them, which I don't mind doing. So I think that's the way to go straight away before we sell some, before we convert some like into productions, which we can do. Because if we have a look at $7.59 for this is the best we've seen. $2,000 for the soup, $3,700 for the salt. So salt is crazy. Let's be honest. So that has to be something for the future, I guess. Yeah. Let's drive back. We're going to go straight on, aren't we? And then we can take a bit of a recap. We should have both the fields harvested for the next episode. We'll have plenty of baling to do. But maybe coal is something that we'll avoid, because I'm not sure if I'm missing something. But it seems like, yeah, it definitely didn't make sense financially to do that. I mean, the profit that I made from that I probably used in fuel on 2 tractors. Yeah, so that one we've learnt from, at least. Unless we find something that I've overlooked, like an extra production. I think this might be the perfect way to end the episode. Everything's sorted out. We've learnt that coal isn't profitable. Doesn't seem that way anyway, unless I'm missing something. If I am, let me know in the comment section. But we've got 2 fields harvested. We've got a plan and where we're going to go next. We're going to do some straw in the next episode. Try out the straw harvest section to that. Do some manual loading as well. But yeah, I thought before we end it, we should collect one of these bottles with a note in. So I don't know if you can just see that, but it's like a bottle with a note in. So here we go. I found chapter 10, and there's 12 of these to find. So I think if we aim for probably 1 or 2 each episode, maybe 2 each episode, I think that's probably going to be the best thing to do. So it says here in the 10th entry, 2 weeks on our way back home, Mother Nature seems to have found the off switch for the fog. Instead, she put a strange island in front of us. We don't even argue if it should be there or not, as it's not marked on any chart. Either all our charts are cheap fabric full of false information, or it is indeed uncharted. Royal Society's got an interest in unmapped landmasses, and the crew argues whether to approach. The island's jagged, possibly volcanic. We can hear a kind of hum from it, low and constant, like the earth itself remembering a tune. The shoreline glints oddly, as though the rocks are covered in ink, and a lot of it. With a few long weeks still ahead, Dougal, whoever that is, and the chaplain want to land and rest. Mariana naturally wants to explore, and Finley, well, he's still Finley, loud until the unknown answers back. I suppose I'll set the anchor. Who knows what we discover. So yeah, we need to get all these entries, don't we? There's 12 of them. Which I mean, there's 24 pages. So I don't know if I'll read every single one of them, but I might pause the screen for you. But let's go to the next one, because I've actually gone on the map, save us, searching around. So let's find the next one. I think there's one down here. So if we just run to this spot, and we'll go to it. Now, the good thing about this is it gets you to explore the map, and with me doing like a bit of a mini-series, it makes sense for us to do this and see what the secret holds. I mean, it looks pretty nice around here. So it should be directly on us, which makes me think that it's got to be lower down. There you go. So we got chapter 8 now. So I'll leave that up for a few seconds. Pause the video if you want to read it. If not, we'll carry on. So I'll leave the video there. I'll carry on with this. Make sure that we get this field fully harvested and collect all the grain. But yeah, in the next one, we'll start tackling some of the straw. We'll get 2 more of them secret bottles, messages, whatever they are, just to see what that is at the end. And yeah, we'll go from there. But I do want to try out the fishing. I do love the idea I've got as well to put all them kind of log cabins in that section and just keep making some good money from it. It's crazy to think that like 2,400 a month. It's, yeah, mental really. Oh, he stopped at the same spot. I'm going to have to remember to use Courseplay. But anyway, I'll leave the video there. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, give it a thumbs up for me because that really does help me out on the channel. And if you're new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this one on Farming Simulator. See you, everybody.